Allison King has revealed that Carla Connor feels deeply triggered after being stunned by an unexpected arrival on the cobbles. The Coronation Street actress explained that her character is shaken when her baby niece suddenly appears in Weatherfield this week. Fans of Coronation Street will know Allison is widely recognized for portraying the underworld factory boss since joining the show in 2006. Throughout the years, Carla has been involved in several major storylines, including the underworld siege, her rape trauma, the revelation that her brother Rob Donovan murdered Tina McIntyre, and her survival following 2 kidney transplants. Carla's love life has also played a central role in her journey, and it was recently confirmed that she is set to marry for a 6th time after becoming engaged last year to Detective Sergeant Lisa Swain. Earlier this year, producer Kate Brooks announced that wedding plans were back on track for the spring after the couple reunited following a rocky period. Their relationship had been thrown into turmoil when Lisa's former wife, Becky Swain, shockingly resurfaced and disrupted their engagement shortly after they moved into number 6 Coronation Street together. However, after Becky was sentenced to 12 years in prison, Carla surprised Lisa by securing a wedding date at the Chariot Square Hotel, scheduling the ceremony for April 23rd. Before they can exchange vows, though, drama unfolds during Monday's episode when Carla opens her front door and discovers a baby left in a car seat outside. Lisa chases after the woman walking away and learns the child is Connie, the daughter of Rob Donovan and prison officer Mandy, both of whom were connected to Carla's kidnapping and Rob's escape last year. Although Carla initially shows warmth towards the baby, her reaction changes dramatically once she realizes the infant belongs to Rob and Mandy and that arrangements have been made for them to care for her. Lisa is taken aback by her fiancé's response. And later, Carla confesses that her emotions are linked to the miscarriage she suffered in 2014. Allison, who marks 20 years in the role this year, also opened up about why family matters are particularly sensitive for Carla. In an interview with TV Times, she explained that Carla's strong reaction stems from unresolved issues tied to her childhood and her mother. According to Allison, Carla fears she may resemble her mom and doubts her ability to cope with raising a child. While Carla has acted as a supportive stepmother figure to Lisa's teenage daughter, Betsy, played by Sydney Martin, Allison noted that handling a baby feels entirely different to her character. She suggested that Carla may underestimate herself, believing she could have been a capable mother if circumstances had been different, though she would never admit it. Both Allison and Vicky Myers, who plays Lisa, have enjoyed filming scenes with baby Connie, portrayed by twins I and Erin O'Neill. Allison described the twins as wonderful and adorable, joking that working with them has awakened her own maternal instincts. Vicky also praised the babies, saying they behaved brilliantly on set and predicting a bright future for them in acting if they choose to pursue it. She fondly recalled one moment when Oe let out an unexpected but charming sneeze during a scene, adding that having babies on set creates a special atmosphere and lifts everyone's spirits. Coronation Street villain Theo Silverton branded so dangerous as sinister new scheme emerges. James Cartwright has opened up about what's coming next for Theo Silverton, and it spells serious trouble for Todd Grimshaw and those around him. The actor warned that Theo is incredibly dangerous, with upcoming spoilers teasing another alarming plot twist in the ITV drama. Nearly a year has passed since Theo first stepped onto the cobbles of Weatherfield, and in that time, he has drawn Todd into a manipulative and abusive relationship. The pair originally crossed paths by coincidence while Theo was working locally as a scaffolder, and sparks flew almost instantly. But as their romance progressed, Theo's controlling and menacing traits gradually surfaced, leaving Todd struggling under the weight of the toxic partnership. Fans will recall that Todd eventually resolved to leave Theo after Billy Mayhew discovered the full extent of the mistreatment he had been suffering. Billy tried to help Todd break free. Yet, his plan unraveled when Theo unexpectedly appeared as they prepared to return from Debbie Webster and Ronnie Bailey's wedding in Yorkshire, creating a tense atmosphere on the minibus. That same vehicle was later caught up in a catastrophic pileup during the dramatic Corrie and Emmondale crossover episode, famously dubbed Corrie. While most passengers managed to escape, Billy was left trapped when his seatbelt jammed. Although it briefly looked as though he had freed himself, Theo returned to the wreckage and appeared to strap Billy back into his seat as he read his last rites, abandoning him before the vehicle exploded. Even though Theo has shown flickers of guilt, he continues to psychologically torment Todd, twisting the tragedy to make him feel responsible. His abuse has also taken a financial turn, with Theo cutting up Todd's bank cards and tightly controlling his access to money. Upcoming scenes show Todd and Summer Spellman singing Happy Birthday to Theo, only for him to react with clear disappointment when opening his presents. Later at the bistro, Theo invites Gary Wendendez and Maria Wendendez to join his birthday lunch as Todd runs late. And when Todd finally arrives, Theo shoots him a furious look. After the meal, Theo insists they foot the bill for their guests, too, leaving Todd embarrassed as he confesses to Nick Tilsley that he only has 80. Back at home, Theo lashes out, accusing Todd of ruining his special day and demanding he fetch wine. When Todd suggests coffee instead, Theo erupts in anger. Speaking about the escalating violence, James explained that abuse often becomes normalized over time when left unchallenged. He noted that unchecked aggression tends to intensify and spiral. The actor described violence within a relationship as particularly horrifying. He added that Theo uses intimidation as a calculated means of enforcing obedience. According to James, whenever Todd pushes back, Theo becomes even more determined to dominate him physically. He highlighted the noticeable size difference between the two men, explaining that Theo exploits his stronger build to assert power. This physical advantage, James said, has now become another weapon in Theo's arsenal. The following morning, Todd tidies up the shattered crockery from their row and tells George Shuttleworth he won't be coming in to work. Meanwhile, Gary spots Theo waking up in his van, where Theo downplays the argument as a dispute over money worries. Alone at the flat, Todd attempts to make soup, but smashes the blender in frustration when it fails to work. Gary later arrives to collect Theo's belongings and is struck by the mess. Clearly upset, Todd admits he wants to mend things. After Gary contacts him, Theo returns for a tense conversation. As the week unfolds, Todd remains anxious, constantly fearing Theo's return. At the Undertaker's, George grows uneasy when another funeral booking is Ken-led. In the Rover's return, George, Christina Boyd, Sarah Platt, and James Bailey attempt to cheer Todd up, but the sight of Theo overwhelms him, prompting him to leave. Theo follows, insisting they talk, and later observes from the shadows as James helps a drunken Todd home. Matters worsen when Theo overhears Summer mention that James stayed overnight on the sofa. At Speed Doll, Theo notices Adam Barlow meeting a client, and Gary reveals she is Annie, the woman accusing George of fraud. Seeing an opportunity, Theo approaches her with a manipulative plan forming in his mind. James explained that Theo's ultimate goal is to isolate Todd from anyone who might influence him. He identified George as Todd's closest ally and therefore the biggest obstacle to Theo. Removing George would clear the path for total control. Spotting Annie's grievance, Theo invents a false claim that George once mishandled a funeral and tried to overcharge a grieving family. James stressed that the story is entirely fabricated, but Theo justifies it as necessary to eliminate George from Todd's life. Teasing what lies ahead, James said viewers should expect both shocking and anticipated behavior from Theo. He described the character as volatile and unpredictable, qualities that make him both menacing and compelling to watch. Coronation Street airs on ITV1 on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. and can also be streamed via IDVX.